Hello there everybody, Sam'sTrains here, welcome back to the railway. Just a quick little Monday special for you. Now, a couple of weeks ago, some of you might remember I made a quick video about one of my new little business ventures where I would basically take on your locomotives and service them and repair them for you and whatever. And during that video I was showing some of my locos running, sort of demonstrating how well they ran and all that sort of thing. But a lot of people quite rightly pointed out that it would have been better if I could show before and after footage of these locos running so that you can see what kind of difference it makes, you know, having a good service. So this business has been kicking off over the last few weeks and I've had loads of orders in. So what I've been doing is I've been filming them. I've been taking a few seconds of footage before I've done the work and after I've done the work, so that you can see the difference. Now, I've not filmed all of them, so if you sent one in and I didn't show it, I am sorry, but you know, there's a little too, I don't want to be showing 30 or 40 engines because it just gets a bit dull, although I'm sure some people would have wanted to watch it. But there's just a few, I think there's maybe 15 or so, just so that you can see. So I hope you enjoy it, even if you're not interested in you know, using my my little service. Hopefully you might still find it interesting. So here we go, one or two before or after clips of my little business. So here we go. Okay, first up then, this is a Mainline N2 that somebody's just sent in. This one is due for a full service and a DCC decoder installation, but first of all then let's just see how it runs. Oh, okay. So yeah, it just buzzes, that's all. So I'm not going to keep pressing that because I don't want to burn the motor out. Okay, I'll get that sorted then and I'll come straight back and show you how it got on. Alright folks, she's done. I've fitted her with a new motor screw because the old one was missing, and I've also fitted the DCC decoder. So here we go, let me just show you her running on DCC. Oh yes, and over the points, no problem at all. Let's just bring her back. Oops, she disappeared now. Come on, back into the shot you come. So I'm going to let her run in now. And as you can see, you really couldn't expect anything better from an old Mainline loco, could you? Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Okay, there you go. Okay, got another one in. This is a Bachmann DMU. I've forgotten the class now. But this one, I don't know how it runs, but I just know that the lights on the back end here don't work, which is why you're there and not in a more sensible place. So let's see how it runs. I probably will give it a service anyway, but as you can see, oh, it seems it runs okay. But as you can see, yeah, the lights on the back there, look, they're not coming on. So I'll have a look at that and I'll get back to you in a second. There we go, lights fixed, and I've given the motor unit a good oiling as well, and it is actually running quite a bit better. Let me just bring it back so you can see the headlights working. There we go. Nice simple solder job. Perfect, that's that one. Okay, a Bachmann DMU up next. I haven't put the other car on because the coupling must have broken off in the packaging, but not to worry, I can replace that, no problem. Okay, let's give it a little test. I'll switch it on, nothing. Let's just... Right, okay. I think that says it all then. Alright, let's get to work on that one. Okay, this one's all sorted then. Let's see her do a crawl. Very nice. And if I set her to a bit of a higher speed, you can see her fly off. There we go, running perfectly. Okay, we've got a Bachmann diesel here. Let me just give this one a little bit of juice for you. Not too healthy sounding, is it? And it also can't get over the express points. So, yes. Bring it back. Very juddery, isn't it? It's okay on those points though. Oh, no, it did cut out. So, yes, let's have a look at that then. There we are, not too much wrong with that one, just a good wheel clean and pickup clean. Bit of oil, seemed to fix that one up nicely. Okay, we've got some LMS locos this time. Some of them are chipped apparently, but he says they don't run properly, so I'm just going to test these on DC and check. This is a 4P. And that one I can't hear anything from, so that one is either completely dead or it's just not happy to run on DC. And then we've got this one, which is the same locomotive with a different running number. Let's just try this one, if I can get it on the track. This one I did hear make a noise to start with. I can just hear the motor buzzing. Ooh. It wants to go, but it doesn't, so I'm not gonna force it because I don't want to damage it. Then we've got this, looks like a Patriot. Very lovely, this one. I think this one he says runs okay, so let's just confirm that. Yeah, doesn't run bad at all, that. It needs a bit of a service, I think. And I've noticed that the couplings are bent as well on the journey. Unless you want some bent, I assume not. Okay, and then of course a Princess, and I think, well, I'm not sure about this one. Let's try it. I can't remember whether this one did run or not. I only tested it 5 minutes ago. Right. Ah, no. Oh, it did. You have to do this. There we go. You pull the tender and the loco apart and it works, but the problem is it's obviously got a connection problem. So what I tend to do is I normally hardwire them. I just put a wire going across. Actually that's a bit better now. But okay, let's see how we get on with those then. He wants them chipping too. Alright folks, all 4 of those are done, they're all running nicely, all but one of them are on DCC, and I'm going to talk about that one now, so let me just bring it into the shop for you. Okay, so what a story this one is, really. Okay, so when it came, this one was already DCC fitted, and the customer told me in fact that he'd had it done at a model shop. Well, put it this way, if all model shops are like this, it's no wonder they're going out of business. Absolutely ridiculous, and for a model shop to have done what I'm about to explain is just insane. So basically the model shop had put this decoder in completely wrong. So let me just explain. So obviously for a basic decoder you've got you've got 4 inputs slash outputs. You've got motor right, motor left, track right. So the motor right, let's say, on the decoder was soldered to the right side of the track, and also track right was soldered to the right side of the track. Now, and the other 2 outputs from the decoder, so motor left and track left, were both soldered to the left part of the motor. The right part of the motor was still live with the chassis, which means it was still live with the other rail. So needless to say, that decoder was completely fried, but I managed to service it up and get it running perfectly. But the thing is, it blew its new decoder. I wired in a new decoder and it blew it straight away. And so I thought, right, there's something wrong here. So I tested the motor, and while it did work okay on DC, it did put out occasional short circuits. Now, of course, that is totally deadly to a DCC decoder, so I've decided that I'm not going to try and fit another decoder into this because it's just going to get blown. It runs okay on DC, as you can tell, but to put another decoder in there would be suicide. So my guess is that the motor's been damaged by the way the previous decoder was installed, because of course you would have gotten an AC signal to the motor, and goodness knows what else because it was wired wrongly. But yeah, let me just show you how it's running. I was sorry not to be able to do that, but the customer is fine with that. So as you can see it, well, you might be able to see it. You can see it cutting it, well no you can't really. It's had a chance to run in now, but when it went over its little short circuit period, you could just see it stop for a fraction of a second and then carry on. So yeah, very, very strange. Never had anything like that before. But it is okay on DC, and now that I've given it a chance to run in, it's okay. But it's not an XO3 motor, and it's not a CAN motor. It's a very strange motor. Never seen it in there before, and yeah, very odd. Okay, let's move on to the next loco. Alright then, coming in now is the other 4P. As you can see, hang on, there we go. As you can see, she is running very nicely now. Let me stop her. Oh, she's gone a bit far, hasn't she? Okay, so the story with this one is, it's a slightly earlier one compared with the one I've just shown you, and this one still had the XO3 slash XO4 motor inside it, so that one was fine. Obviously I know what I'm doing with those motors completely. This one was chipped as well by the model shop. I don't know if it's the same model shop, and the decoder was wired correctly with this one, but obviously as you saw it was totally dead. So I took the decoder out and tested it without the loco, and it did work sort of on and off intermittently for a little while, but then it died, so I don't know what had happened to that decoder. Possibly it had been wired wrong and then corrected, but the damage was done. I don't know, but yeah, that decoder was no good. So I serviced it up, got it running okay on DC, and put the new Hornby chip into there, and it's working just fine now. So let me reverse her out and I'll show you the next one. Look at that though, what a crawl for an XO3 motor, fantastic. Alright, and here's the Patriot then. Did I stop her more accurately this time? Yeah, just about. So yeah, as you saw, the Patriot was working okay actually, but I did do a full strip down and service because the customer wanted me to. And of course I did fit the decoder, and that is working perfectly okay. So nothing really to report on that one. but I thought you'd like to see it running on DCC, so yeah, let's take her back then and I'll show you the Princess. There she is then, there's the lovely Princess. Nothing massively wrong with this one either, just the same old ring-filled motor problems. The main driving gear was slipping on the motor sort of axle, so I had to glue that on. And also, of course, you've got the traditional problem with the bad coupling between the loco and tender. So I put a wire on there to connect the coupling between loco and tender to the chassis of the loco permanently, so you don't have to rely on the spring anymore. And that is now working 100% perfectly. So yeah, that's those four, and yeah, let's move on. Okay, there's the next job then, and that is a real beauty. Now, the customer told me that this is brand new, but of course it is a tender-driven one, which makes it quite a few years old now. Now, when I got it out, I noticed a rattling, and I know it's not going to work, in fact, when I try it, because, lo and behold, there's the main driving gear dropped out. Very common problem, not too difficult to fix, but it'll be quite a while, I should think. But just for the sake of it, let's have a go. Sounds like a bird of some sort. Okay, let me get that sorted then, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, that's all done. Yeah, everything went as planned, and it's a pleasure to see it run. It really is. Look at that. Okay, next up, one of the old Transcontinental Pacifics. Not running very well because of the big wheel flanges, of course. You can see she's stopped on the points. So I'm going to take those wheels down and give her a full service, and we'll see how she goes. Okay, I've taken her wheels down and made some minor repairs. Now, the truck and bogie wheels are plastic, and if you try and take those down, they sort of melt, so you can't do those. So those do sort of lift the engine off the track occasionally on the points, but for the most part, she will run over them just fine, so let's see. There you go. As you can see, no stopping now. Little bit of a bump, especially with this rear truck going over the points, but apart from that, yep, it's perfect. Alright then, up next, a very, very beautiful Ren A4. Not tried this one yet though, so let's see how she goes. Yeah, didn't start up too well. Okay. Yeah, nothing massively wrong with that, I don't think, but I think a good service would definitely do it some good, because you can hear just how, I don't know, just sounds a little bit tight, doesn't it? So let's have a look at that and see what I can do. Okay, she's all done, and you'll notice now that even though she ran okay a minute ago, now that I've done her, and I do enjoy doing these by the way, you will see that she doesn't just jump into life now, she will actually start at a very slow speed. And I've put the controller in just so that you can see how little you have to apply on the controller. So it's clicked there, you just literally give it that, and it's off already. It would not have done that a minute ago, and look, just a tiny bit more and she's off really quickly. And of course she's running perfectly in reverse as well. They are a bit more controlled that way. There we go, she's all done, and she's running very, very nicely too. There we go. So there you have it then. Hopefully that gives you more of an idea of what kind of difference it makes to have a service. So yeah, if you are interested in having me look at one of your logos or a collection or anything like that, and I have done a few collections already, which is why I'm looking a bit tired, just send me an email to Sam'sTrains@outlook.com and I'll get in touch with you. And also, if you want to, just look me up on eBay and I'm there as well. So okay, that'll do it for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you Wednesday. Cheers everybody.